So hello and welcome back to my channel guys, and welcome to my new series that is called Motorcycles Back to the Basics. Yes guys, this is a series in which we talk everything about motorcycles, beginning from the basic going well up to the advanced. So guys, this is episode 1 of the series, and in episode 1 we are going to talk about commuters. And if you stick till the end of this video, you will know everything about commuters, what makes a commuter, what breaks a commuter, and what is the recipe for making a commuter. So guys, without any further delay, let's get right into the video. So guys, first let's answer the most important question, that is, what is a commuter motorcycle? So guys, a commuter motorcycle is a very basic form of motorcycle. This motorcycle has a very basic low displacement engine that makes modest amount of power. These motorcycles are extremely durable motorcycles and they are very cheap to maintain. The two USPs or unique selling points of a commuter motorcycle is that one, they are very fuel efficient, and the second one is that they are very cheap to buy. So guys, from that let's move to the next question, that is, who is this motorcycle meant for? So guys, these motorcycles are actually meant for the very price sensitive market as well as the very price sensitive buyer. Yes guys, the main buyer of this motorcycle just has one goal, that is to get from point A to point B very effectively and cheaply as possible. This commute should not be very heavy on the wallet of the person. Yes guys, these motorcycles sell the most in the developing countries such as India and other countries in Southeast Asia and Africa as well. Also guys, these motorcycles, you can basically call them like the mules for the common man. So guys, now let's take a look at some of the popular commuters that we have seen in India. Obviously, the most important and the first name that pops to my mind is the Hero Splendor. Yes guys, how can we forget? This motorcycle has been made since ages and even today it sells like hotcakes. Some other example would be the Passion Pro, it would be the TVS Radeon, the Bajaj Pulsar 125 Naked, the Bajaj Pulsar 125 NS. These are some of the motorcycles that come to mind. Also guys, now let's elaborate on some of the points that I have mentioned before. So guys, a commuter has to be very durable because manufacturers sell a lot of these motorcycles in the rural or the village areas. So yes guys, in the rural or the village areas, the roads are not so good. They are ridden with potholes and in some places there aren't even roads. So these motorcycles have to be very durable to be able to handle those conditions. Also guys, these motorcycles have to be very repair friendly, by which I mean that the ease of repair for these motorcycles has to be very high. I'll tell you why guys. If this motorcycle breaks down, the buyer obviously isn't willing to spend a lot of money. So guys, the part that has broken down, number one, has to be cheap and has to be readily and easily available. Yes guys, these motorcycles are used by the people daily, so you cannot actually take time to repair these motorcycles. So the parts have to be cheap and readily available, by which I mean that the ease of repair for these motorcycles have to be very high. From that guys, the most important part why the commuters sell is because of their great fuel efficiency. Yes guys, some of these commuters that I talked about can give you a fuel economy between 60 to 70 kilometers per liter, which is just unreal guys. That is some great fuel economy for the price, which is very cheap, and that is why the commuter motorcycles are actually a big hit among the people. Also guys, now let's take a look at what is the recipe used by the manufacturer to make these motorcycles. Firstly guys, the manufacturer takes an engine that is a low displacement engine, single cylinder obviously, and it should be in the range of 100 to 125 cc or 150 cc at the most. And this engine should absolutely sip on fuel. Also guys, the gearbox that is used in this motorcycle are a 5-speed unit. Guys, also the parts that are used in this motorcycle are not very high end because this motorcycle is built to a budget. The parts are of acceptable quality, nothing to write home about, but at the same time the parts that are used are also not very cheap because these motorcycles, remember, have to also be durable. So the parts are just about acceptable quality. Also guys, the maintenance of this motorcycle is very cheap and the manufacturer takes care of that. Yes guys, these motorcycles are very easy to maintain and the service of this motorcycle does not cost the buyer a lot, and the spare parts of these motorcycles are readily available. From that guys, let's move on to the technology aspects. Manufacturers make sure that these motorcycles do not have a focus on technology, by which I mean you do not get any new features in the motorcycle, you do not get any revolutionary features in the motorcycle. It is just a bare bones basic experience. The logic behind this is simple, guys. Obviously the price point is low, and if the motorcycle is bare bones basic and simple, there are less things that can go wrong. So that is the formula that is followed by the manufacturer. Also guys, let's take a look at some of the features like ABS, then you have disc brakes, then you have digital speedometers, LEDs. These are some of the features you do not find on most of the commuters because they are obviously built to a budget. You will be lucky enough if you actually get a commuter that maybe has a single disc brake up front, but in most cases it is drums both to the front and to the rear. Also guys, ABS is a rarity, and if you do get ABS, you just might get the front ABS, forget about rear ABS, that is not happening. Also, a digital speedometer console is not something that you get. You get an analog console that gives you the very basic information such as your speed and how much fuel you have left, and it is obviously analog. Also guys, do not expect LEDs or anything at this range. You get your normal bulbs, but that is acceptable I guess because of the low price point of these motorcycles. Also guys, the seat that is put into the motorcycle by the manufacturer is very comfortable, and I should say it is very basic, but it is wide enough to carry two healthy people easily. Two healthy people can easily go from point A to point B on this seat. Also guys, we have seen that oftentimes commuters are actually very misused by people, and you see 3 people, 4 people sometimes on one motorcycle going here and there. So you can see that these motorcycles are basically do-it-all kind of motorcycles. Also guys, the power on this motorcycle is not much, and mostly the power that you see in this motorcycle comes in the low mid-range or the mid-range. The top end is bland. These motorcycles are not meant to rev the hell out and actually do some quick shifts. They are actually meant to do the basic job from point A to point B, and the power delivery is, I should say, acceptable. And guys, that is expected at this price range. There is nothing wrong. Guys, because of the mellow power delivery and the ease of riding for this motorcycle, it makes them very beginner friendly. So the performance of this motorcycle does attract youngsters because it is easy to learn on this motorcycle, and mostly you have seen that people do start off on these motorcycles and this is generally their first motorcycle. Also guys, another important aspect is that these motorcycles do not need much marketing. You might see an ad here or there, but because these motorcycles come at a very cheap price point, the manufacturer does not have to spend a lot of money on marketing this motorcycle unless it is a new model or something, because these motorcycles, they sell like hotcakes. People are going to walk into a showroom and ask about these. So word of mouth marketing is more than actually the normal marketing that you see. So that is another thing. Also guys, these motorcycles are a lifeline for the middle class and the lower middle class people living in the cities as well as the rural areas. In areas, especially the village, where there is absolutely no concept of public transport or hardly any public transport, if a person actually has his commuter, he can get from home to work or work to home very easily without much effort, and thus these motorcycles are preferred. Even in metro cities where the public transport is good, some people still prefer the commuters because it is very fuel efficient and they want to get from point A to point B with some peace of mind, and that is the reason why some people prefer commuters in the metros as well. We have seen many people who do that, and cities that do not have good public transport, you see a lot of two-wheelers. So guys, finally let's talk about the use case scenario of the commuters, that is where they are used. Because these motorcycles are so fuel efficient and so cheap to buy, commuters are used by absolutely anyone and everyone. Even if you have a basic geared motorcycle license, you can literally go out and buy these bikes on a very low budget and you can start using them. Hence, we see these motorcycles used by students to go from home to college or whatever. We see them used by working professionals to commute from home to work and back. We see them used by absolutely anyone who has any work. Small scale businesses, large scale industries. If they want to get any job done, they use these motorcycles. It's even widely preferred by delivery boys who actually deliver for various franchises such as Zomato, etc. The use case scenario for this motorcycle is basically unlimited. People can literally use it for delivery purposes, for regular day-to-day purposes, or even if you just want to go out and get some bread and milk and eggs, you can go out on this one and do it. It's absolutely unbelievable as to how much and how widely these motorcycles are used. So guys, that was it for the video. I hope you understood everything about commuters, and if I have missed out on any point or if you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I will definitely love to read them and answer them. Also guys, if you stuck till the very end of the video, I thank you very much for your patience. I really appreciate it. And since you're here, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button twice. Also guys, for more such videos and even MotoGP content on my channel, please make sure you do hit the subscribe button, you ring the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.